Hi and welcome back to another video on my channel. What I'm about to show you is probably the weirdest camera contraption I've ever built. But to preface this, I just wanted to quickly talk about why some or many filmmakers, mostly in the vlogging realm or the YouTube realm or the commercial realm, like to use older or crappier cameras for their projects. Like for example, an old DV camera, which results in like 480p footage, which looks pretty crappy. Well, in my opinion, it's pretty clear. It's very easy to convey a nostalgic or personal feeling when you're utilizing this footage. I'm not talking about making whole films with this footage, but just by scattering it in a bit, you create a feeling of nostalgia and you create a feeling of homeliness that is very hard to replicate by other means. So many people like to use these shots to convey a feeling to the viewer of, like I said, nostalgia and homeliness and overall good vibes, like many people like to call them. A step further than the DV camera would be to film on actual 8mm film. But given that that's very expensive, many people fall back on putting over some grain over their footage to make it seem like it was shot on an 8mm camera. And I think I may have found a way to bridge or to go in between of just fiddling around with the grade and going full on film, because full on film is very expensive. I wanted to try it for some video at some point, but given that you have to find the right film and send it to a lab, because not many people are developing 8mm film anymore, and then if you want to have it scanned and paying upwards of $200, $300 for it, at the moment it's not an option for me. But I think through my weird construct I have achieved a very interesting, homely, nostalgic look with an 8mm camera. So I'd like to present to you the 8mm Canon PowerShot camera that I've come up with, which is, yeah, a pretty weird setup. I'm going to be honest.
Yo, when it was me that started off that first conversation that led me to the drug that put me under the sedation. Knew you had a man, but I pursued you anyway, knowing if he found out he'd probably put me in the grave. And what I thought was brave was really truly idiotic, a straight fool that was twisted off the hip.
It's utilizing an old 8mm camera I bought maybe 5 to 6 years ago from Russia with Russian lens, and a Canon PowerShot which I bought for 10 bucks off eBay, and also this camera rig which is designed for DSLR or mirrorless camera, but I used it to attach the Canon PowerShot to film through the viewfinder of the 8mm camera to, yeah, kind of film off the picture that you would normally see through the viewfinder. And that results in a pretty interesting image. Now, I did actually put over some grain in DaVinci Resolve to make the footage even more nostalgic, but other than that, the picture you see comes straight out of this camera, obviously goes through this lens. That's why you see the dust and the f-stop overlays in there. But it also does something to the color. So color-wise, I didn't actually do anything to the pictures. And I was really impressed on how interesting the picture looks, which is what you're trying to achieve when you're using footage like that. So I could really see myself filming a moody scene with my proper camera and then just sprinkling in like 1 or 2 shots filmed with the 8mm Canon mesh up to, yeah, like I said in the beginning, make it more nostalgic, make it more homely, make it seem like there are a few shots that have been filmed by your dad in the 90s or 80s or 70s. And that's basically it for the video. I just wanted to share the setup I did and just wanted to share with you how I achieved the looks. You might have seen some experiments on my Instagram. If you haven't seen it, maybe follow my Instagram. There's a link down below. And if you liked the video, please consider subscribing, consider liking the video, and maybe comment on what weird camera contraptions you have come up with to make your films become more lively and to make them more interesting. So that's it for the video. I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.